Hello everyone, let's just check this is recording. Yes, it is. I can't remember what I last vlogged. Darcy and I went to IKEA the day before yesterday and we got loads of stuff. I need to do an IKEA haul then, don't I? And then yesterday was a little bit fraught. Darcy is obviously quite excited and a little bit anxious about starting her degree course and moving into this student accommodation, and she didn't sleep all night. So her anxiety was kind of like, oh mum, you've got to get a team, you're never going to get it all done in time, and there's this to do. And then after a bit I had to say, okay, you need to stop. Now I have got it all under control, and this is just lack of sleep, anxiety kicking in. But it did kind of, it was like quite a long discussion, and it did exhaust me a little bit. But that's the life of a mum. Anyway, so the plan was to put all the flat pack furniture together yesterday, and I didn't quite get that far. I did do this bed, so got a single bed for this very small room, and I am now putting this desk together. So I did that last night. I said to Darcy, the sofa's arriving on Wednesday, and she said, oh no, you told me they were arriving on Thursday. And I thought, oh okay, sofa's arriving on Thursday. And the plan was, because I was told that the delivery was 6 a.m, I thought I'd stay overnight here. Anyway, I don't know why I didn't check and believe my own original thought that the delivery was Wednesday. So I was in bed at home in Cobham, and my phone rang at 5:45 or 5:50, and they were saying, hello Mrs. Cole, just to say we're arriving in 10 minutes. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm 20 minutes away. Adam's still in bed, but they waited for me, and they also unwrapped everything and put the feet on. The other day, I might have shown you this already, some friends came round to help, and they said they had a sofa, but I was out when they arrived, and I think if I had seen it while it was in their van, I would have said, no, that's not going to be suitable. But they'd unloaded it all, and they were sitting there having a cup of tea with Ben, and so now I'm stuck with how to get rid of that. We've bought a lamp. The trouble with IKEA lamps is they always have weird bulbs. I've got some blinds over there, I'm not quite sure if they're going to be suitable. There's some more flat pack furniture here, and I'm just wondering if there's anything upstairs. Got a blind for that landing window. I've got some lampshades. I think I've put the lampshade up here already. Yeah, so just doing basic stuff because it's student accommodation. These are the curtains we got for Darcy's room, but I'm not sure they're entirely suitable, and they're a bit too long. And I'm thinking they might be more suitable for the living room downstairs, but they're blackout curtains, so they're better for bedrooms. And I can't think if there's anything else that I've got. No, not really. So another lampshade that I need to put up on that bed there. These mattresses arrived the other day. I've probably told you all this already. So yeah, it's coming together, and we've now got 4 tenants. So there was Darcy and somebody else definitely for a long while, and then because there was so many delays with the house purchase, Darcy was a little bit reluctant to advertise it, but then she did, and there was 2 different people on different days whose accommodation fell through. So they were very grateful. One of them is coming round today because their induction is today. Somebody on the performance course. The music production induction is tomorrow. So yeah, it's gradually coming together. look a wreck. All my makeup's worn off. I really gave the garden a really good go at the Guildford house. I didn't vlog it because I had my pockets full of things like secateurs, so I didn't have room for a camera, and also my phone because I was waiting in for somebody to come and pick up this sofa. I think I vlogged it. Somebody thought they were being helpful and brought around a sofa for us, and it really wasn't suitable, so then I had to pay £15 to get somebody to come and take it away. So yeah, done quite a lot today, and I'm going to get some more things from IKEA and also get some furniture that we can make use of in the Guildford house from the London flat. The guy who used to own the Guildford house phoned me yesterday and said, could I forward some mail? But his office is just around the corner from the London flat. So I'm actually going to deliver it by hand. And although it's kind of added a little bit onto my journey, it's made me come up to the London flat, because otherwise I think I would just go, oh, I'm too tired, I'm just going to go to IKEA. When we unpacked some of the things from IKEA the other day, we realised there were some bits missing, so I'm also going to collect those, and that's from the flat pack wardrobes. You have to pick up 2 boxes, and I just picked up 1 from each wardrobe, so that was a bit of a fail. But we're getting there, and it's all very exciting. Hello everybody, I am off to another gig. Just like the thing, isn't it? I don't get a gig for months, and then I get 4 in 1 week, and in the busiest week of my life. And now another disaster has happened. One of the tenants that has been lined up all along has now decided that they don't want to have the small room, and I've given all the other rooms away. So Darcy's really devastated because it's the one person that was on her course out of the tenants, and they really wanted it to be like a share house of people on their course. So I think what Darcy wants to do is, well, she would really like me to tell one of the other tenants they can't have the room, but I'm not going to do that. I think she's going to have the small room. So again, didn't actually do any footage of the actual gig, so that was another gig. We had one last night and one this afternoon. I just couldn't find anywhere to put the camera. I need to bring a tripod with me or something like that, stick it in a chair. So now I am going back home, and hopefully Darcy will feel ready to go and move her stuff into the house. 2 of the tenants are in already. Darcy's a bit nervous about everything. And yeah, it's just, I think it's made him more nervous, this guy suddenly saying he doesn't want to be in a downstairs room. So she had this like wonderful room that she was going to move into with an ensuite, toilet and sink, and now she's got this tiny downstairs room. And as a mum, I really kind of want to go, no, he can sling his hook and you have the nice room. But she feels really irresponsible towards him because it was supposed to be, people on the course together looking for a share house together. So it's a really awkward situation. Plus everything that you feel when you're a teenager. It's very distressing at times being the mum of a teenager. Let alone buying a house and letting it out to tenants. What do I do to myself? I am feeling much here though, but every day seems to have very distressing moments, but I'm learning how to deal with them. I can't talk after I've been singing for 2.5 hours. Right, let's go. try and take a shot with my camera, but it's run out of battery. But I just wanted to show you this amazing view as you drive down this road from our rental property. That's the cathedral on the hill there, and it's such a beautiful sunny morning. The light is just absolutely amazing, and around Guildford you just get these incredible views. I mean, look at that. It's probably not looking that great on my phone. So it's been a really hectic day, and I came down to Guildford this morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning to get my ratchet screwdriver, and I then went up to London, and I showed you before I went up to London I was driving down this road and my camera had run out of charge, so I showed this scene on my phone, but I'm going to show it to you again now because the sun is at a different angle now. I think it's just gone down a bit. It was looking really incredibly spectacular a second ago. Just the cathedral on the hill with the sun on it. Probably not as spectacular as when I first turned the camera on and I thought I was recording and I wasn't, so wasted quite a bit of time. But anyway, it's so beautiful around Guildford. So many hills, and you just get so many wonderful views. Yes, I probably didn't explain. I had to go and collect a bed from London, and I didn't have my ratchet screwdriver to undo the bed when I got up to London. So I set off really early, like 6:30 in the morning, to come down here and then go up to London, and I was going to bring a coffee table as well and something else, but then I decided they weren't really suitable, they were too heavy. And then I came down, tried to set everything up before we had this lunch with my dad for his birthday. Didn't quite get it set up, went and had the lunch and then came back to set up the bed, but the tenants' parents had got to it before me. Hi everyone, life is getting back to normal. So I'm off to boot camp and I'm going to try and make this a Fry diary and round it up next Friday and get back to doing Tuesday and Liz's life lessons and doing my regular things. So, as you know, in the UK we've had a bit of a heat wave, which is, sometimes happens in September and October. But today, the day I decided to go back to boot camp, it has gone down to 12 degrees and it's rainy. So typical British weather then. Well, I've been at the Guildford house for most of the afternoon. I kind of finished off lots of things last Tuesday, and I said I was going to come today when somebody was going to come and put a shed up. But then we couldn't get the shed delivered till Wednesday, so they're going to come on Thursday now. It's Mike, I think I've told you that already, who's doing up Louie's bus. And so I managed to do the garden quite a bit before it rained. So I think one more go at that and it's going to be under control. The other thing that Mike is going to do is sort out this guttering, because it's just pouring over the back door at the moment. And I've put a lock on the bathroom door. I have used a power drill for the first time. So it went on a little bit crooked because the thread or whatever it is got lost on that screw. But first time for everything. I had to drill into there and then drill onto there. Not drill, but screw those on. I could have got a new one of those, but I think that would have been even more complicated. Hope they'll be happy with it. I don't think there's anybody here. I saw one of the tenants leaving. Another tenant has their windows open, so I thought maybe they're in. But I think that might be them arriving now. But this is what the living room looks like now. It's looking lovely, isn't it? So we're nearly there with this project. I've already mentioned that all the tenants have moved in. Because we completed very close to when they moved in, there have been some jobs that we've had to do after they've moved in that don't affect them too much. Things like putting up a shed so that they can put bikes in there and also keep all the gardening equipment there and garden chairs and things. And there is a bit of a problem with the guttering. I think I mentioned that the other day, where you saw the rain pouring outside the back door. So I've got somebody coming around tomorrow, but today the shed's being delivered, so I need to be kind of on call for that. They're going to call me half an hour before they arrive. And there are one or two other jobs, just things like putting hooks on the back of people's doors, planing the doors so that they shut properly. There's still one or two doors not shutting properly, and getting on top of the garden. So I've got a do it list, I've got a things to buy list. I'm going to get some ferns for the bit outside the front window and try and make that look a bit more pleasant, because it's quite dark there, but I think ferns will grow well, and hostas, but I think I'd have to get bulbs for that, and maybe put some pebbles down. And then there's a border in the back garden that I'm going to neaten up as well, and put mostly, I think, bark down with one or two little shrubs that they can just trim every now and then, just to keep it really low maintenance. And today I usually go out with my dad, so I'm going to give him a call and see if he's up for coming down to Guildford. The other thing that is not happening fast is them getting internet installed. So I was going to get everything sorted out and then get them to take a bill each, but one of the tenants, his girlfriend in her student accommodation, had used this thing called Split the Bills. I think it's quite a new company, so there are a range of reviews about Split the Bills, but they've taken the initiative to do that, so that's cool. But it just means that everything's taking a little bit longer to set up. So every now and then Darcy goes, I can't cope without Wi-Fi. Can I come home? So I don't want to keep driving to Guildford and driving back and driving to Guildford and driving back. So I've said to her, well, I have to come to Guildford anyway. So I don't want to drive there and bring you back here and then have to drive back again. So I think she's okay with that. So yeah, I'm so long-winded when I talk to camera, sorry about that. So I think today and tomorrow are going to be the final days. I'd like to do proper sign-off with the tenants. One of the things that I haven't done yet is given them an inventory, because I was still like buying stuff, and I'd like to do that and have kind of like a housemates meeting and encourage them to have like a weekly housemates night or something like that, where they can find out what's going on with each other, and then also talk about, you know, how to manage things like cleaning rotas and things like that. But you know, kind of got to leave it up to them to work out for themselves. I've just been for what I think is the last session with my therapist. I went back to her, having done a year's therapy a couple of years ago, because we were going through a difficult time and there was going to be the challenge of buying this property, which was throwing up all sorts of issues. And I wanted to strengthen my support team, so I went back to Cecilia, my therapist, and we've got the property, and also we've resolved some other things. And I think I have really got to grips with lots of the tools that she's given me. The keys like, you know, saying about things that I want rather than feeling I should do this or I should do that. You know, this is what I want to do, or I don't want you speaking to me like that, or stuff like that. And also in dealing with difficult people and difficult situations, remaining in my adult. I at some point might tell you the saga of the solicitor, but I was very pleased with myself that I'd stayed in my adult, and other people involved, like the mortgage advisor and the estate agent, were a little bit shocked at her behaviour as well, and were very supportive and respectful of me. So I'm very glad that I continued to behave in an honourable way whilst being firm, of course. So I think I'm happy with where I'm at. I think I'm going to be okay. I had a little bit of a dip of depression yesterday, but I've learnt strategies for that as well. And also, Cecilia, my therapist, feels that I am going to be okay too. So, that feels good. Feels like, the end of a season. Hi everyone, I'm stuck in traffic. I've come up to the flat in London because I managed to get another real bargain on eBay the other day, and it was a Laura Ashley sofa, a really nice one, and I'm picking it up from quite nearby, and it's going to be for the London flat anyway. So I stopped at the flat, unloaded some bags and things. I think Ben's going to come up and meet me to help me carry it up to the flat. I think the people I'm buying it from will help me put it on the roof rack, but then Ben will help me carry it into the flat. And so now, I'm driving to Charlton, which is quite nearby. Hello everyone. I have been doing gardening today. I was hoping this was going to be the last day that I needed to be doing stuff here and could sign everything off and leave everything to the students. But my time's been hijacked a little bit, and so I haven't quite finished the garden. And Mike and Dan, who were here, haven't quite finished things off, like the guttering. There's a little bit of guttering, but they have put a canopy over the back door, and they've sorted out some of the main guttering. So that's really cool. Finished doing the shed. Not sure about the shed. Seems to take up nearly half the patio. I was kind of thinking that it would be at the side of the house, but I think it's the same width as that gap, so it would have been difficult to erect the shed. So anyway, and they've put locks on the gates, so I've just got to sort out handles and things, and we've still got to sort out where some of the bedroom doors are not fitting properly. But I am not going to do any more to this lawn. I'm just going to let it kind of grow, and then they can trim it, and maybe I'll do something to it in the spring. I have weeded that border there, and I've got some plants to put in it, and there are 2 borders at the front of the house that I wanted to tidy up as well, but I think I'll run out of time. I've transplanted 2 of these cypress trees here. So there was one here and one at the other side, and I've transplanted these 2 middle ones from that border there. And I'm just going to leave that area. I was thinking I might plant some bluebells, but eventually I'd like to build a really big shared garden room rehearsal studio. So that will be an exciting project. The sofa was a bit of a saga. I nearly stopped to do a little clip because it was making such a noise as I was driving along with it strapped to the roof rack, but I realised it was just the straps vibrating in the wind, so that was a bit scary. And then Ben messaged me to say that he'd just set off when I actually arrived at our flat in London with the sofa, so I was thinking, how am I going to get it off the roof? So I nabbed a passerby and he helped me carry it into the lobby of the flat. And then I realised, because it was a Laura Ashley sofa, it was very, very well made, and I couldn't take the legs off, and I couldn't actually get it into the flat. So we put it in the shed in the end for the moment. Then I need to decide whether to bring it back to our common house or saw the legs off and put them back on again. I don't know. Life's full of little issues that you then have to problem solve. So life's a series of problem solving activities at times, isn't it?